Hey everybody, Blakes and Bounds. Not from Studio G today. We are near it, but we're outside in Denny's backyard. And I don't know, Denny, it's such a perfect day. Light jackets, it's very comfortable.
Well, you saw this on Threads from a Jason C. Kendrick. And his question to his fans and followers, introduce yourself with one movie, one book, one TV show, one album.
So why don't you go ahead and give me
Movie.
If you were going to introduce yourself to a stranger, your movie pick.
Okay, I actually have one main movie, but one other movie I need to mention because it tells a pretty good story. The first movie that comes to mind to me, The French Connection, which I believe was Gene Hackman's first starring role.
Okay.
But at the time it came out, I had expressed an interest at that time to be a cop, of all things. My father was an FBI agent, and I thought I'd follow in his footsteps in some form of law enforcement. Thought maybe it'd be DC Police. And I loved the movie. I loved the premise. It was an action movie. The chase, the car chase,
So good.
chasing the train. The other one is The Graduate. And I only bring that up. That came out when I was in high school. And one night, my mom said she wanted to see The Graduate. And it was the beginning of just a terrible storm on the East Coast. So we drove to a theater to watch The Graduate. And it was a teenage kid sitting next to his mom, and this is an adult movie.
Right.
Touching on very adult subjects.
Kind of awkwardness there, yes.
You know, and kind of moving around in my seat and trying not to do this with mom. 1A is A French Connection, 1B is The Graduate.
Okay, so you're kind of going to stick with two. I have two as well. Old Mike Blakey used to lean towards Casablanca, and a lot of it's for the themes in that film, the backstory, how it was written. They even had to change writers along the way, so that's why the film gets a little more serious at the back end. So, yeah, Casablanca would have been the one from years ago, but in recent years, back in 2019, just before COVID hit, I saw a film called The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and it's about San Francisco. It's really a nod to the city. It's made by two best friends, a director and an actor, and so it's even, kind of a story of truth for the two of them. And it's such a cinematic film too. I just love the beauty of the film, and it's about gentrification is sort of the main theme, but also the importance of friendship and family. So yeah, that film really sticks with me. So yeah, if we're going to do a 1A, 1B, I'll go ahead and go with two as well. So Casablanca and then The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Next one is, I think, book. You want to start with the book?
Sure, I'll start with the book. I'm a George Orwell fan and have been for a long time. And the one that I probably like in a weird way the most is one called Coming Up for Air. And it was written, published in 1939, sort of written in 1938. And it's about this character named George Bowling, and he's sort of having a bit of a midlife crisis, and he's analyzing his life, he's revisiting places he grew up. And at the time, I was a young guy, so I wasn't thinking like that really, maybe more so now. But the themes, I don't know, it made me just really realize the importance of one's life and enjoying the moments along the way. And so even as a young guy, I kind of picked up on a lot of the themes. And so yeah, that book's really stayed with me, Coming Up for Air.
Mine is by Robert Pirsig, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And I've read that 3 times now.
Wow.
Aside from the fact that it's a personal journey and a search for self rooted in the past, it also addresses the fact that as technology increases, we become more dependent on technology, and we become almost slaves to technology. He is not, because he's fixing his motorcycle all the time, but at the beginning of his trip, he goes with some friends. They're not like him. When his bike breaks down, he's pissed, he's angry, and he doesn't know how to fix it, and he wants to know where to take it to get fixed. So I really enjoyed that book.
All right, well, let's go on to our next one. If you were going to introduce yourself with a television series, I don't know, I think there might be common ground on this one.
It's a tie. The Rockford Files.
Which is really funny because, everybody, we didn't discuss this ahead of time.
We did not.
Just before we started recording, we talked about it, and Rockford Files is also my choice for one series. Now, I have others I like. We both like that show, Homicide: Life on the Streets,
yes,
which was a great cop show. I have some other ones too. Mad Men. Liam loves Mad Men, and I've liked that one too. And Twin Peaks is another one for me because of the quirkiness. But if I'm going to narrow it down to one, it's Rockford. How come you like that one as a
Rockford is he's a loner. He's a beach bum of sorts. He's been wronged in his life, and he's just the coolest private detective you could imagine. He's level-headed. He's rational, and he approaches things in a very deliberate way, and he lives his life the way he wants to, and I don't think he has any regrets. So, okay, final one is record.
Yes.
Record.
Right.
I'm dating myself. Album.
Which nowadays vinyls come back. So album's the next one. I'm going to mention one that probably not many people have heard of. Everyone, I think, heard me talk about the Beatles. We've done that on this show a couple of times. And I love the Beatles, but honestly, the artist that's closest to my heart is another British performer, Al Stewart, who's most famous for Year of the Cat and Time Passages. Some real hits out there. But for me, he did an album before all that was called Modern Times. And I can listen to that album over and over and over. And I'll tell you quickly why. I not only just do I like the way he performs, but I love his lyrics. And in that album in particular, there's a lot of great lyrical stuff going on, a lot of storytelling. And so every time I revisit it, it takes me places. That's actually what I've always said about Al Stewart. He kind of takes me on an escape or a journey. So anyway, that's mine, kind of a sort of off the wall one, I guess. Al Stewart in Modern Times.
Mine is Santana, Abraxas.
Okay.
That was the very first album I bought, but I didn't buy it until I heard it in the college library, George Mason College. And I went to the library, and they had record players, and they had headphones, and they had albums, and I said, I want to try one of these things. And I'd never contemplated stereo. I put the headphones on, and I was just blown away by Stereo One, but the guitar virtuosity that Carlos Santana achieves. If you decide to, respond to, comment on what this little episode, introduce yourself with one movie, one book, one TV show, and one album. We'll be very curious and very appreciative that if you send in any of those answers, we'd love to see them.
Yeah, give us some feedback if you feel like it, because I don't know. I saw this, as you mentioned at the top, on Threads is where I saw it, and I just thought it was an interesting topic. We're always looking for something to talk about, so there you go.
So, the old me.
And pretty much the old me too, except for maybe the San Francisco film, but that's about
maybe we'll do the new us at a future episode.